Have you ever looked at a really serious finance app, maybe one for businesses, and just paused and wondered if there's maybe like a hidden layer, something almost playful under the surface?
Right, something you wouldn't expect.
Exactly. Like finding a hint of game design in, the most serious buttoned up place. It sounds completely contradictory, doesn't it?
It really does.
Well, that's kind of the weird puzzle we're trying to unpack today with this Al Ain Finance app.
hmm
So, our mission here for this deep dive is to figure out what this app actually is, how it got built, using this software thing called MVP. And this is the really interesting bit clear up that very strange mention of game design that pops up with it.
Yeah.
We think this dive is going to be a good shortcut for you to get your head around a pretty fascinating bit of digital finance. Okay, let's get into it.
And I think what's really insightful, too, is that looking at this one app, how it was developed,
Yeah.
it tells us a lot about bigger things happening.
Like trends.
Yeah, broader trends in how financial services are going digital. Plus, it's just a great example of how totally different fields like finance and, well, potentially game design can sort of bump into each other in the tech world.
Leading to some confusing names, apparently.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly. It can lead to some, let's say, unique naming choices.
Okay, so let's unpack it then. What is the Al Ain Finance app?
Right.
So basically, it's a mobile app from Al Ain Finance PJSC, that's a private joint stock company based over in Abu Dhabi in the UAE. And their whole deal is providing like alternative financing, especially for SMEs, small and medium enterprises.
Got it.
So this app is really about giving their clients, these SMEs, the power to manage their accounts and get financial services all from their phone.
And the features list is actually pretty solid. It's designed for full self-service,
Meaning?
meaning users can handle a lot themselves directly in the app. Think about payments. It lets you do self-transfers, payment orders, even bulk payments, which is important for businesses.
Okay, bulk payments, right.
Yeah, and you can manage your customer profile, update details, that sort of thing. And it also handles letters of guarantee.
Letters of guarantee. Okay, hold on. For anyone listening who maybe isn't deep in finance, can you quickly explain what those are?
Sure, absolutely. Think of it like this. A letter of guarantee is basically a bank promising, formally, to pay up if one of their clients doesn't fulfill their side of a deal.
Okay. Like insurance for a contract.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It reduces risk in business deals.
Yeah.
They're really important, especially for SMEs dealing with larger contracts or suppliers. So having that feature right in the app, that's a big plus for convenience.
That makes total sense. And I saw something about security too, biometrics.
Yeah, exactly. For convenience, but also strong security, it uses things like fingerprint and facial recognition to log in and authorize actions.
Nice.
So all these features, the whole app really, it clearly fits into Al Ain Finance's bigger plan for, digital transformation, moving services online, making things more efficient.
Right. But you mentioned how it was built is also key, this MVP thing.
Yes. MVP, minimum viable product. It's a really central idea in software development these days.
Explain that a bit for people maybe not in the tech world.
Sure. So an MVP is basically building a version of your product, your app in this case, with just enough features to be actually usable by your first customers.
Just enough.
Just enough. The point isn't just to launch fast, though that's part of it. The real goal is to get it out there, into the hands of actual users, see how they use it, get their feedback, and then you build on it. You improve it iteratively based on that real-world data.
Okay, that sounds super efficient, smart even. But
Yeah.
for finance, a sector where trust and security are everything, does building just the minimum ever feel a bit like cutting corners? Or is it genuinely seen as the best way now?
That's a really good question and an important distinction to make. It's absolutely not about cutting corners. Actually, you could argue for finance, it's about being smarter with risk.
How so?
Well, think about it. You launch with the core, most critical functions. You validate those thoroughly with real users in a controlled way.
Okay.
This lets you make sure your security is solid, your compliance is right step by step, instead of, investing a huge amount upfront on a massive, complex app that might miss the mark or have unforeseen issues.
So it's agile, not reckless.
Precisely. It's about learning and adapting quickly, using real feedback to guide you. We don't know the exact first features of the Al Ain Finance MVP, but you'd guess it was things like basic account viewing, maybe simple transfers, the absolute must-haves.
Got it. That makes a lot more sense, especially when money and regulations are involved. Okay, but we still have the elephant in the room.
Oh,
Or maybe the game in the room, the game design part. What is that about?
right. This is where the wires seem to cross, isn't it?
Totally.
Okay, so based on everything we could find, the strongest likelihood is that MVP application in game design isn't describing the Allane Finance app itself. It's almost certainly the name of the company that developed the app.
Wait, really? The developer's name?
Highly likely, yes. It's actually not that uncommon. Sometimes developers include their full company name or maybe a description of their broader services in the App Store listing or title, especially if they do more than just one type of development.
So Allane Finance hired a company called MVP Application in Game Design to build their Serious Finance app.
That appears to be the case.
Yeah.
So the app itself is a straightforward, serious financial tool, no actual game elements inside.
Right.
The developer's name, though, suggests they might also work on game design projects alongside building things like this finance app. It just reflects their broader business.
Wow. Okay, so that solves that mystery. It's just
Yeah,
the developer's name happens to include game design.
exactly.
That's actually fascinating. It's a good reminder, isn't it? To look a bit deeper, especially with tech stuff. A company name can sometimes hint at a much wider range of skills or history than you'd guess from just one product.
It really can. It shows how these development companies often have diverse portfolios working across different industries. And sometimes those different strands show up in unexpected places, like an app title.
So just to be clear then, while this specific app isn't gamified,
Correct.
is gamification a thing in finance apps generally?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's definitely a growing trend overall.
How does that usually work?
Well, you see things like using point systems, badges for achieving savings goals, leaderboards maybe for financial literacy challenges, setting up little challenges to encourage saving or investing habits. It's all about using those game-like mechanics to make managing money feel a bit more engaging, maybe even fun, and encourage positive behaviors.
Interesting.
But again, to reiterate, based on our sources, there's no sign the Allane Finance app itself uses any of that. The name seems purely down to the developer's broader identity.
Right. Got it. Okay, so this whole deep dive kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? For you listening, how may knowing who actually built an app or knowing how they built it, like with that MVP method, change how you see the digital tools you use every day, even the ones that seem really simple or straightforward on the surface?
Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. It's a reminder that there are all these hidden layers, right? Strategic decisions, developer expertise, specific methodologies, all working behind the scenes of those apps we just tap on every day. Definitely something to mull over.